a model that emerged out of 10 years of trial and error on my part, and what I was looking for was a way to beautify the city while empowering people that we were working with. So then the question evolved, how can we make that happen, and what does that model look like? So it's changed over the years. I was doing this activity for about 10 years, then I started mark making, and we've been in business 3 years, and this is what we do. We offer art education and now civics education to children and disadvantaged adults, culminating in public art projects that beautify the city of Chattanooga, and we also pay wages and stipends to our professional artists and our assistants in order to do this work. So it's empowerment, education, beautification, and money to artists. It's a very successful year. We introduced Tian Torrance, aka Buku One. What he concentrates on is the power of the word, and the spoken word, and the danced word, and the rapped word, and the graffitied word. It's all about the word, and as a matter of fact, we've been influenced in that way to write a grant for Community Foundation to do things about the words about revitalization all the way along Martin Luther King Boulevard. The other thing we did with Create Here grant was to bring the Massey brothers to Chattanooga. Two brothers that do phenomenally huge art pieces all over the United States. They typically work with thousands of kids to do paintings that end up on boats and trains and everything mobile and airplanes, and they're talking to NASA right now. So we did 4 different things with them. We did a charrette. We did the coolest charrette, and the questions were all about, does Chattanooga want to do public art? Do we want to do community-based public art? How much do we want the community involved in the making of public art? And they showed us what they had done in other cities and showed us how we could model that if we so choose. Another thing we did, which was my favorite thing, was we did an artist workshop, and we based it on the Massey model with kind of mark-making questions. We worked in teams, and we said, okay, here is a site such as the overpass on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Here is your team. You have a small amount of money, and you need to work with 500 homeless people. What are you going to do that empowers the homeless people as well as beautify the city of Chattanooga? So the Massey brothers kind of rotated around the room, helped them figure out how to answer these questions, and they made models with Play-Doh and paint and Cray-Paws and all these different things, and at the end we presented their models. I would say there are 2 major things that we took out of that grant situation. And one is that we started looking more to our arts community as designers of different projects. And the other thing is they had a strong civics component in their class. And what we found that was really interesting was that they asked the kids questions to provoke answers along the lines of, what does a community need? So they come out with some answers. And they say, why are those answers important? And then the kicker is, what do you do personally to further that agenda? So it's really asking that teen or that child to be more engaged civically. So all to say, I think mark making started as mark making at the beginning of the grant, and now we're mark making Buku Massey.